Okay, so had some technical difficulties there. Surprise, surprise. Um, I don't know what you guys saw. I know the scale was up there for a second, but the weight was 498.8. And so let me see here. So we're going to get started here. It says you can't hear me. Is that the case now, or was that the case a minute ago? Let's see. Let me turn maybe. All right, I turned that up. We'll see if that is a better volume to pick me up at. Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Fa, and I want to thank you for checking out my broadcast today. Today is day 4 of my 3-year health and wellness challenge. What I found is that my addiction to food has gotten me into just a horrible position. I'm 38 years old, over 500 pounds, and I know I just can't continue down the road that I've been going down for really my whole adult life. I've had lots of different diets I've done in the past, and they've all led me to here. And so this time, I want to lose the weight, and I have a weight goal, but the focus is going to be on the time. That's one of the things when I was younger, we used to go. I used to go to a wrestling camp when I was in high school, and we'd go, and it was a drilling camp. They would show us specific techniques, and then we would just drill those techniques over and over and over again. And one of the things that the main guy, he was an older guy, and every time he told us what to do, or he would have us drill, and everybody kind of grumbles or whatever, but he'd stand up there and he would tell everybody, he goes, you got to do it 1,000 times. You got to do 1,000 times before it gets the back of the brain stem. And that's what I got to do. For 1,000 days, I have to create a habit of being a healthier, better person than I have. And 3 years is, over 1,000 days. So if I do it for 3 years, hopefully I can create a habit that is just in the back of the brainstem, and always something that is part of my life. And so I'm gonna get to the 3 years. I'm gonna do it one day at a time. I'm gonna achieve small victories, and as I achieve some victories, I'll put new victories up. And my goal, I'm doing this live on camera. I'm live streaming. I also am doing an Instagram to do photos and things like that, some short videos. And I'm doing it to keep myself accountable. But I'm also trying to create a digital footprint of my experience that feels as raw as possible. It's not edited shots of me doing things or talking. I mean, those will come, but I mean, just to start here, it's I want it to feel fresher. If I struggle with a task, I want to have to come up and look at this camera and say, I can't complete this task. This is as far as I can go, or I'm having a problem, and and maybe somebody down the line, they get stumble on these videos and it helps them in some way. And I know that, over the next 3 years, not everything I'm going to do is the right or the best, or even what I'm doing now, uh, people would probably frown on. But the flip of it is that if you were sitting next to me watching what I was consuming for the last 3 years, you would think I'm killing myself just as much either way, and so, with that, I guess we'll get started with today's broadcast. First is the fast I'm doing right now, and I've been keeping track of the weight here, and so we started at a weight of 519.8 pounds. Prior to today, we had lost 17.2 pounds. We are now from 502.6. We are down now under 500. We're at 498.8. So that's another 3.8 pounds lost, which is awesome. That puts us at 21 total pounds down. And so I'm going to update this here to my current weight. So let me get this updated. So it is 498.8, and that is updated up there. Let's see. It's nice to see the big loss, the 2 pounds. I'm hoping that I see those a lot through the fast. Once we get through that, and we'll start seeing, some smaller numbers, but we're going to do what we can with it. We're going to figure out the 1,000,000 calorie challenge here. And what the 1,000,000 calorie challenge is if it's the first time, it's really just kind of some simple math. My goal over the next 3 years is to lose 300 pounds. Kind of standard convention or standard is that a calorie is 3,500, or a pound is 3,500 calories. So, just taking the amount loss, and keeping track of that to try to, add another goal to hit. This is definitely a long-term goal. The fasting is a shorter-term goal. And then we'll go get this figured out here. So we had 21 pounds at 3,500 calories. We could probably figure it out. We're going to do 73,500 calorie deficit over the 4 days here. One of the things I've, kind of also mentioned is that this is going to be more of a thing, 6 months from now when I lose 0.8 of a pound and I'll have, 3,200 calories or whatever the math is on it. But let's get this updated to the 73,500. So it is nice to have this goal chipping away, and we got that there. So really, that's kind of a lot of the weight loss stuff. With the fast, what my goal is here, starting at 520 pounds, I know that my body, it has to burn a lot just to keep that alive. And also I have a lot of fat storage, and that's something I guess I didn't explain very well with the 1,000,000 calorie thing, is that in the past I've had help. It's helped me to quantitate my 300 pounds of excess body fat is like having a bank account with 1,000,000 calories in it. And so my goal is in 3 years to drain my bank account. It's like, I think it's Brewster's Millions, right? Right. Except for I'm doing it with fat and I have 3 years. Um, and so, um, I lost my train of thought here. So the fast, yes, the fasting. So, I'm 89 hours in. So I'm over halfway through the first week of the fast. Um, it's been going really well. I've been feeling really good. Um, I haven't had any real hunger, like cravings, or like, man, my tummy, my stomach is, I have kids, sorry. My stomach is rumbling, or uh, I have to eat. I haven't had any of that. And some of it, maybe mental with that kind of thing, is just um, being able to be motivated past it. But I still had those kind of, it's like just like, I walk down the steps and I see a bag of Doritos. I'm on the steps, going down the steps, going to the bathroom. I see the Doritos, and in my head, the first thought is, oh, I'm going to hammer those Doritos after I get done doing what I came down here to do. And then, it's a millisecond, but it's still, I have to go, oh, wait, I'm not eating right now. And in previous fasts, I found that it's similar, kind of the same thing at the beginning. And then you get to a point where uh, you're so conscious that you haven't eaten, that to eat on accident would be weird, so you don't think about it like that. The other thing, the volume is low all of a sudden. I'm sorry, I don't know how long that said that, but let's see. That is still cranked. Is it still low? Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. I'm supposed to have that muted. I'll do that now. All right, it says better now. I don't know. Sorry, guys. We're still trying to get all the kinks ironed out as we go here. So, back into talking about my fast. No hunger pains. I have very empty abdomen feel. I can tell that things are shrinking. And it's really it feels good. I feel more mobile or flexible. I mean, you can see in my photo here, I got a big belly. I mean, it's looking at this photo, it shocks me because I don't see myself looking like that, but I also don't see myself thin. But so I'm somewhere in between. Anyways, so the abdomen feels better. I feel more flexible. Something that, if you're watching this down, I want to be, like I said, transparent, and I have to talk a little bit about the bathroom and how that's changed within the first few days. And so with any fasting, if you're gonna have fasting as part of your regimen, especially like, and everything I talk about, I can only talk about now as somebody who's over 500 pounds. But the volume of waste you have goes way down, which is a much different feeling. And then kind of a thing that has been I've seen in the past. I'm getting to the point where you don't trust a fart. Is kind of what I would say is the best example. There's not. I don't like. I feel like I have to go to the bathroom, kind of like normal, but then when I go there, it's not. It's not. When you eat a lot, go into the bathroom, you have it feels different than when you don't eat anything as far as the volume. But other thing I wanted to talk about as much as about the waist is about the it's embarrassing to talk about, I suppose, but as a person over 500 pounds, it becomes difficult to clean those types of things. And as far as what I will, your flexibility to take my flexibility as far as taking care of that has maintained, because that's something that I may not do uh, uh, whatever standing, like touch the floor every day, but I do the other thing every day. um as you get bigger, it gets more difficult and more difficult and more difficult, and you find different ways, and immediately that whole experience is improved, and it's less. And so it's, I don't know how much more to go on about the bathroom stuff, but it is something I felt like that at this stage it's it's been impacted in my life. I mean, or not impact. That's funny. That's even punny too. So, anyways, that's enough bathroom talk. And so, yes, the wiping is much easier. Is over the just in the few days, and it's not that it was uh, for some people it's probably more difficult than it is for other people, and like I said, it's all about who you are. But um, we're going to move forward here, and we are going to look at my tracking app. I'm learning about this tracking app kind of on the fly as I kind of do this with you guys. And so I'm going to just kind of quickly brush through what my app is showing me, as far as tracking steps, things like that. As like I said, as I get further along with this, I'll get a better understanding of the app. I purchased a Garmin because I like outdoor stuff and hiking, and so I can maybe track some of my hikes and then discuss them here as well from the app. Uh, in the future when I get to that point of what we are doing. So I'm going to connect the phone here. We're going to pop it up if I can get a hold of it, and we'll see. We got the Garmin app up, and the latency is pretty good. Okay, so right now I'm at a resting heart rate of 70. It's been on the high side. It's not going to be a surprise, I think, to anybody that 498.9, 400 under 500, 498.9 person has a high resting heart rate. The stress, I was looking at that earlier. Yesterday it was definitely kind of back to where it was, and then today it's still up there. I do have to look and see what other factors that they take into consideration for this other than heartbeat, because I'm not sure. I mean, at activity level I would imagine, but a lot of that is like they drop that down into gray on the bottom. So let's see here. Going down the line, intensity minutes again. I'm not working out through this phase of my challenge, and so I don't really have any intensity minutes. My steps are at 2,500. I think I might have been higher yesterday at the same time, but I do know I ended up hitting 6,300 steps, and so says I covered 3.32 miles at 6,600 calories. Didn't go up and down floors too much. And so that is the and then my sleep, I got a little bit more sleep. It is November 4th, 2020, and so we had a political election last night, so I was up a little bit watching that. It kept me up, and it also had, you know, kids had me up early. That's always the reason I get up early, is because of the kids. So we look at yesterday, I did hit the steps. I did not hit my sleep goal. While we're in here, I can probably update my weight. So the app is super easy to use. You just go in and go to 498.8, hit done. It's today now and saved. And then you can look at a graph. I did have a couple weigh-ins prior, but actually it just shows this week. That's great. So steady decline. Shows my body BMI still at 68.8. Love to get that down under 60 as fast as possible. I mean, I'd love to get it down to like 25. That would be nice. So let's see if there's anything else on the Garmin app to really go over. I don't see anything right now. Again, like I said, this is something that's going to come into play more as I get more active, and helps keep track to show what I'm doing between the last 2 days. But as far as activity right now, it's raising kids, I guess, is the only activity that has been a constant. And so going from that, another tracker that I've been keeping track of is my fast food savings account. What this is tracking being big, like I am, and that I've gotten to. It's not cheap, and one of the biggest expenses to my success at gaining weight, I suppose, has been fast food. My current office that I moved to in the last couple years, I mean, I have to drive by Murderer's Row just to get to my work. I mean, there's Wendy's, there's Burger King, there's Taco Bell, there's Hardee's, and so I have a whole spectrum of charges from all over the board, and so this is just going to be me going over what I did a year ago at this time. I'm just looking at the past year. I could go back further years, but I know for the past year I've put on a lot of weight, and there's a lot of money spent. And so on November 4th of 2019, I did charge Taco Bell for $13.29 for my meal. And so that's going to bring my total in just fast food expenses. That's all I'm recording here in fast food expenses is $36.59. And so a couple of honorable mentions on the day from November 4th is that there was a Shell transaction for $8.97, which would be probably a Monster Energy and a candy bar, or 2 or 4. And then similar to, I think, the last time I added on here, we had a charge for takeout pizza. So that was probably my instigation again. And I probably ate a healthy bit of that. But as far as the fast food goes, so far for November, we're at $36.59. Looking forward, there's not going to be much the next couple days for whatever reason, but I hit the ground running again shortly. And so, the scale today was nice that I got under 500 pounds. And so I thought I'd share the first time that I actually got over 500 pounds. And, well, not when I got, but when I found out I was over 500 pounds. It wasn't that long ago, and it's actually been since March of this year. Uh, One of my kids, we had to go to the hospital for an appointment, and we finished up the appointment. And as we're leaving the doctor's appointment, walking down the hallway, it's like this empty hallway, and I'm in a pediatrician's office. Essentially, it's at a nice hospital. But as I'm walking down the hallway, it's an empty hallway, and to my left there's an apparent like bariatric scale, I think is what they call them, but it's a scale that I could tell could weigh somebody my size, of my ilk. And so I kind of made a quick decision. I had my kid with me, but they're young. They really didn't even know what was going on. I just kind of sidestepped onto the platform. There was a digital display right in front of my face. And I hopped on, and it popped up, and it said 233.8. And I'm like, that's weird. Something's wrong. But I'm kind of trying to sneak into doing this. And so it took a half a second, but it clicked in my head. I was like, oh, it's set to kilograms. So I was like, now I got to do the math. So I got off the scale, and we're walking down the hallway, and just seeing that, knowing the conversion with kilograms, I knew. But I did the math, and it came up 515 pounds. And I mean, at the moment, it hit me, but I was distracted by other things, I suppose, and I allowed it to just kind of brush by me. I didn't really take any time to feel it, and so it and then we've had a lot going on with everybody being kind of locked in their houses and stuff. So I just never really faced it, and then it's kind of, since that point, I've hovered between that 515 and 525. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you exactly, because I didn't have a scale that could weigh myself until about 3 weeks ago or whatever, 2 weeks ago. So, but I know that it didn't motivate me to go on a diet, and it's kind of crazy that it didn't. But so I thought that celebrating the last time I'm ever going to weigh 500 pounds. I no longer weigh a quarter of a ton. You could round up. I weigh a quarter of a ton, but it's still, so I thought I'd share kind of the first time that I found out I was 500 pounds. And so, I want to thank everybody for checking out the broadcast today. We went about half hour. It's all really the time I want to take of yours today. I plan on being back at it again tomorrow. Might be slightly later. I have some meetings that are going to bump up right up to when I normally start. But, guys, if you like what you saw, or if you have any questions, I hope listening to me might have helped somebody again. But if you hit the like buttons or do all the stuff you're supposed to do, hit any button except for the down arrow or the thumbs down. How's that sound? And then I have an Instagram page that it's Fasting, FAHSTING, just like on my goals. It's what the Instagram here is going to be focusing on, just kind of that the fasting that I've been doing. And even after my first initial fast, I'm gonna continue with intermittent and extended. This way of eating, I feel like is gonna be the best for me to break my food addiction, because that's at the end of all of this, my problem is a food addiction. And so I want to thank you guys for stopping or checking me out, and I hope I see you